Good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me. Now, it's my second time doing this, so I'm pretty nervous, so I will be referring to the hand as we go along the show, just to keep the memory up a bit. So, now, at the moment, I'm working as a sales rep at a solar company. And what's that you're saying, Matt? Not only are you a sales rep, but you also work in an industry that's entirely reliant on generous government rebates. Here's a man with integrity. But I was at a reasonably boring family barbecue the other day, as they tend to be, and I had a family friend sitting next to me, Uncle Leo style, incessantly asking me about my job, just because for some reason he seems to be interested in it. So, and he said to me, Matt, well, what's the best thing about your job and what's the worst? I said, fair enough. I said, well, the best part of the job is obviously the fact that I'm about 6'5", and I get to spend all day driving around enjoying the luxury and the sheer legroom of the Hyundai Getz. Takes me 10 minutes just to get in. But no, this is the largest car I could afford. I've said that to customers before. But driving a Getz, actually, it's not that bad. I mean, you do, there's a lot of cord here. You get in there, every time I get to drive around in it, you get that warm, fuzzy feeling, you know, in your spine. So that's always good. There's a lawsuit coming. And he said, well, what's the worst thing about the job? And clearly for me, the worst thing about the job is that I'm sitting in a Getz, but most of the time it's not even moving because I'm sitting in roadworks and I'm sitting in, you know, construction, traffic jams and that sort of thing. And they're really the worst. I mean, it's a lot of waiting around for really no payoff. I mean, you're sitting in your car for ages, just hoping that something's coming at the end of it that's going to really justify all of the tedium and all of the waiting. And when you finally get there, it's just a complete letdown. It's just something uninteresting and quite boring. You know, you come out of there feeling like you've just watched an episode of Pax the Rub. Anyone who laughed at that, I'm so sorry. But it's the thing about roadworks that I like is just they seem, you know, I don't really know why they exist. I mean, there's only two things in this world I don't really like. One's roadworks, and two is a hipster's glasses. Because, I mean, you see them everywhere, they seem completely unnecessary, and frankly, I'm not even sure if they're really doing anything. Bringing out the big guns tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Just going to look at the hand really quick. But I wouldn't mind so much if when you finally got to the end of the roadworks, all the waiting had paid off. You know, if I was sitting in traffic for about 20 minutes and I finally got to the end, and then it turns out that a giant Farmers Union iced coffee truck had, you know, slammed into the big night out bus. Well, at least then, I'd have pretty much all the free, warm iced coffee I could drink for the rest of my life, and 60 really annoying people would be dead. But the problem is, it's never anything as uplifting as the big night out bus being destroyed, you know, it's never anything as cool as crash investigators finding the first bus in the world that's held together entirely by bodily fluid. You know, it's never anything as cool as knowing that you can go to any pub you want ever again in town. You don't have to worry about a double-decker red bucket of vomit showing up out the front and a bunch of sleazy, disgusting, obnoxious, drunk slutbags, you know, flooding through the front door like you're standing in the lobby at The Shining. Now, despite the delivery, I'm well aware there's a lot of people in this room that won't understand that joke.
That's hilarious. I loved it.
Oh, well, take your word for it, Pat. Just checking the old hand there. But really, when you get to the end of the show, end of the roadworks, it's a bit disappointing because what's really been holding you up is about 6 or 7 guys in a council worker team who, to be honest, look like a bunch of guys that could be participants in a very poorly organised Seth Rogen lookalike contest. And pretty much doing anything they can to get out of doing any work. The other day I was sitting in some roadworks and there was quite a large crane on the side of the road. Surprisingly, no one was doing anything with it, and I thought, well, surely here's a chance to do something that's A, productive, and B, adds a little bit of amusement to the day. I mean, why don't they take the massive hook off the end of the crane, find the fattest, laziest guy on the team, and just hook the crane around the back of his pants, right? Just distract him with some sausage rolls or something at the time. Then when the lunch truck rocks up and he starts waddling towards it with his wallet out and his mouth wide open, they can just put the switch on the crane and just reel him back in again. Second time. Alright, I'm nearly there. It's hard to read in this slide. Now, we do know there's one guy in a roadworks team that does do a bit of work, so let's be fair enough. And there's always that stick figure man on the side who's actually doing some shoveling and actually getting something done. But the thing... but the problem I have with that is really, I see that as false advertising, really, because you're not actually going to see a guy working hard and shoveling, are you? I think, if anything, they should just make the signs more realistic. Next time I'm about to go through some roadworks, what I want to see is a sign that has a Farmers Union iced coffee, a pack of cigarettes, and a mobile phone sending a text message. So at least that way you can say, well, there's roadworks down there, I'm going to try and avoid that one. So, unfortunately, you're probably going to see a lot of people sitting in traffic disappointed who thought they were driving to a deli. So. And that's what we call a big comedy finish, ladies and gentlemen. So thanks very much.